look at all the tools we have here today. Oh, the comparisons we will do. First, since I have the batteries on them, we're going to talk about these one-handed reciprocating saws. Then I'm going to have another video talk about those things. But I just wanted to make a video comparing the Metabo HPT brushed reciprocating saw 18 volt with the Milwaukee brushed 18 volt one-handed reciprocating saw, or what they will refer to as a hacksaw. All right, so first up, let's just talk about some of the specs. The Milwaukee here produces 3,000 strokes per minute, and the Metabo HPT produces 3,200 strokes per minute. So it sounds like that's better, right? But here's the most important thing when it comes to reciprocating saws, especially these one-handed ones, and that is the stroke length. The longer the stroke, the easier it'll be able to cut material like wood. So the Milwaukee has a 3/4 inch stroke, and the Metabo HPT has, sheesh, I mean, they said 13 millimeters, which equates to about like 0.51 or 0.52. I had to go double check because that is so low. Yes, just over a 1/2 inch. So that is significantly shorter, and I'm going to demonstrate it in a few seconds. Well, matter of fact, just take a look at this. Okay, so the Milwaukee is on the right, and the Metabo HPT is on the left. Now, you might already notice a big difference, how much shorter the Metabo HPT is, but look at this difference in stroke. Now Metabo, and together. You see all that extra travel on the Milwaukee? There you go. Now, if you might have noticed in the first frame, you might have noticed that the blade on the Milwaukee was backwards. Well, both of them can do that. You can make the blade, you can put it in there so the blade is sticking up, or, you know, the traditional sticking down. Both of them can do that. It's just that Metabo HPT advertises that feature in their literature, and Milwaukee doesn't. But the Milwaukee can do it. You just have to read in the manual, and you'll see that it's like, oh yeah, you can flip that around. So with that said, going back to the stroke length, that will cut things significantly easier. Now, with that, let's just take a look at these things side by side. We can see that that Milwaukee is way taller, it's way longer, and it's also way thicker. If we can stand them up this way, look at that. That's a girthy boy. Now, battery sizes are very similar. Well, actually, this is a 2.5 amp hour. Well, actually, no, this is also, it's on an 18 volt tool. So this is a 5 amp hour battery. That's a 5 amp hour battery. Let's check that out. And they're pretty much the same size. So here's some other things I want to highlight. So we've gone over size and all of that. Obviously, well, the size doesn't mean anything for weight. This Metabo is really, really light, and it feels good in your hand just like every other Metabo HPT tool. Here's the Milwaukee. Now, like most M18 Milwaukee tools, this feels good in your hand. The ergonomics are good on the Milwaukee brushed hacksaw. The only thing is it's quite heavy. And you can see because, like I said, this is a big boy. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about some extra features. So I just showed you guys that the blade can flip upside down, but let me show you something else that they can do. So on the Metabo HPT, you might notice that there's a little button right here. That is for extending the shoe. So you push this button in, and then you can slide this out. The way you do it on the Milwaukee is, let's lock that. You can't. Speaking of locks, The locks on both of them are in pretty convenient areas. It's easy to get to with your thumbs on the Milwaukee and on the Metabo HPT. It's also very easy to get to. It's actually a little easier on the Metabo HPT because the tool is smaller. I will say though, to unlock it, it's not a lot of travel. And it's almost feels as though you're not doing anything. On the Milwaukee, it is very prominent. So as far as features go, the Metabo HPT is a little more feature rich. Now, last thing I want to show you guys with these things, they're pretty basic tools, is I just want to do a demonstration. Look at this. So we could talk about sound too, and let's test out the lights. But let's test out something else real quick. Sound. That is the Milwaukee. Here's the Metabo HPT. A lot quieter. Now, the next thing I want to take your attention to is watch this blade. Watch the break. Full blast. Metabo HPT, y'all, I gotta tell you, and every cutting tool that I've ever used with them, their brakes are amazing. The reciprocating saw, the one-handed reciprocating saw, the band saw, just excellent, excellent brakes. Now let's check out this Milwaukee. Full blast. Not full blast. That brake is awful. Awful. I almost shredded my carpet up earlier because I kept playing with this and was used to that instant stop. By the time, you put it down, stop. This is like, I had to wait. All right, now let's test the lights on there and then we'll be done. Okay, first up is the Milwaukee. There we go. And it stays on for a few seconds. You're going to be cutting down here. So that's some pretty good light, I'd say. That's pretty good light. You have a nice little guide right there too. I'm not going to cut my carpet up, but that blade lines up really nicely with the shadow. Now, let's do Metabo HPT. Oh, that light doesn't stay on. It does not stay on. Well, you could turn it on by pulling the trigger lightly. So that is something. And you have a lot more light up there because it doesn't have that little piece on the top of the shoe. So the light is good on both of them, I'd say. But I do find it interesting that with the Milwaukee, the shadow seems to stretch further for some. Oh, because the light is on the bottom. The light is on the bottom. And with the Metabo HPT, the light is on the top. So you get less of a shadow from your blade. So anyway, that's it. Just a quick video. Was it quick? I don't know. Just comparing these two tools. Me personally, it depends. It depends on what you're going to be using these for. Pipes and stuff. The Metabo HPT all day is smaller. It's compact. It's lighter. And it also has a lifetime warranty. But if you're going to be doing like stuff outside, pruning little branches and stuff, then I would go with the Milwaukee all day, because of that extra long stroke. So there you go. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you guys next time.